This is my 3,500 mile checkup report on condition of the vehicle. Recently I did a 400-mile trip through the mountains in high altitude, ranging from 6,000 to a little over 10, close to 11,000. I'm driving the car hard. I did a break-in period of 1,000 miles, changed the oil at that time, but since then I have not babied this Coyote. It's a Gen 2. I changed the oil at 1,000, and it seems to be doing fine. I haven't had to add any oil. That's fairly clean. The brake fluid I did go ahead and replace. Recently rebled the system with some new fluid. It was getting somewhat brown, but it's been 600 miles and still looks quite clear. Brakes are great on this car. I've experienced high-speed braking is a little dicey if you get on too hard, but otherwise I love them. They seem to be dialed in pretty well with the right bias. The one thing I don't like about the system is the factory 5 standard hill brake. It'll hold the car, but not on a steep hill. At some point I'm going to change that. The things that I've had go wrong, a couple of bolts have come loose on these side pipes. I had one get loose and once on the shield. That's just a tightening issue. I had the mass airflow sensor actually fall off, and I think that was an issue for my mounting as well. I didn't get it tight enough. And let me tell you, that'll shut the engine down quick. It'll allow it to start, but you can't drive it. But super easy fix. I had the clutch cable break. That was 90% the way I installed it, and 10% in my estimation that thin cable that Factory 5 supplies. Mk4 has a much better one, and if you install it correctly, I believe it lasts fine. At 3,500 miles, I'm not really seeing a lot of wear on my 555 Nittos G2s. The treads evenly wearing. There doesn't seem to be excessive wear, so I'm expecting these to go farther than I have heard you should expect out of the tires like these, but we'll see. This honeycomb affair I got from someone on the forums. I designed my own mounting system. It's pretty nice. I really like it the way it turned out, because this stuff is so durable you can just beat it up. You can tell that I've got a lot of bugs from my recent drive. I've been cleaning this in the past, but it's nice that you can pull this out, spray it from the backside. Bugs are gone, slide it back in here, and it just has two Z-bar type aluminum slots that it drops right down in and keeps the radiator protected and bug-free, much easier to clean. I had gotten a couple of I brushed it with a tool or two here and there, but otherwise it's in pretty good condition, and I attribute that to this honeycomb. Really like that stuff. My ventilation system that I put in here recently, big time benefit. Air flows through that at highway speeds just fine. When you turn on the blower, it supplies, it's 90-degree air that you're getting, but it's movement. But I really like the way these work. It's a lightweight system. Doesn't draw a lot of power. The top turns out to be a real benefit in hot weather. It was 90 plus, I think 93 degrees coming home yesterday. And air flows through the top just fine, but keeps the sun off of you. I've got a couple of rock chips on the back side. I think it bounced off the back bumper onto the body, but all in all, I'm pretty pleased with the way it's wearing. I don't like rock chips, but this is a driver. This is not strictly a take it to shows kind of car. And it's been exceptionally dependable for me. One thing I will mention about the, you can tell I don't have a Moroso tank here. I have the front battery mount, and I didn't want to block that. Those Moroso tanks that fit here tend to block the access to that. And what you'll find is that, you'll notice my overflow tank is down at the bottom. It pulls it all the way down when it's cold. When it's hot, it'll be about 60%, 75% up the fill tube. But when it's cold, if you pull off the radiator cap here, the fill neck is full. That's how this system is designed to work, and I'm very pleased with the factory 5 supplied overflow tank, expansion tank. I don't know that yet that the Moroso isn't required for certain situations, maybe racing the car, but from my experience, this system works fantastically. The temperatures on this car are always in a good range. I installed a PWM 2-stage fan controller, and that has been working beautifully as well. I set that. It's a little bit coarse of a setting. You can't get exactly what you want. I was after right at 93, and I've gotten 90 and as high as 95. I think right now it's set up in like 87C. But that thing kicks into low fan, turns on the fan, and cycles it off. I rarely see or ever hear that thing kick on high, and the real benefit is the Gen 2 is not running the fan full time, especially at highway speed, which is pointless. So I am very, very happy with that. You can see the sensor for it down at the lower radiator hose. I did not go with powder coating anywhere on the car. I did do some Pour 15 on the raw steel stuff, but as far as the panels go, all of them that would show were treated with Scotch-Brite and clear paint, and the rest of them were left as aluminum. I've done the same thing with stainless steel. I still need to work on these hinges just to clean them up a little bit, but I kind of like the metal look. And I'm loving the way these things are wearing, including in the fender wells. There's no chips, they clean up easily. No issues with that stuff. And for me, I did kind of a fast build. I didn't want to go through the expense of powder coating. I didn't want to go through the effort, and people put a lot of effort in just to organizing those panels and getting them done. I got crazy. I did get estimates on them, and I got crazy high, $1,500, and then down to about $600 to do all of them, and finally decided just not to do that, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't. So the things that I'd like to mention that I've decided I really like, the rear cubby. Sorry, the car's dirty right now. I just got done with a trip, but the rear cubby is turning out to be fantastic. I've got a little light inside there. I've got power ports in there. It's just a nice spot to put your I don't put my wallet in there. Sunglasses, hat, a scarf. My wife puts some things in there that she wants. I've got two 12-volt power ports, some USB ports, and my extra roll bar mount that I don't use on the passenger side is that hole is drilled in it to attach a dog harness. I use the go between fifth seat belt and then a harness back here, and the dog can't come out of the car. He's got enough freedom, but that cubby's just nice. The seats, I've got the leather big and tall, I think they call them. I'm not, and these things barely fit me. In fact, the seats, I like them. However, I would prefer that they be wider back here. Maybe a little more padding on the sides. Lumbar support is almost absent in these things, and I'll probably do something about that at some point. They're good seats, they're just not great for long trips. Around town, they're fine, but I'm usually stuffing a coat behind my lower back, and I need some sort of lumbar support for these. Let's see, the clear spats are nice. They're not perfect, but it takes a little bit to learn how to put them on so that you don't see them. But they are protecting the fenders, and the wear that I'm seeing is just typical wear. You know, I don't drive on gravel roads a lot. I have, but I kind of like the clear ones. The drop trunk and supports in the trunk, I really like this Russ Thompson drop trunk. It holds a lot of stuff in addition to what you already carry. Right now my tonneau is in there and a little camp chair. But when you go to the liquor store, you can get a bunch of 6-packs and wine bottles standing up, and nothing moves around. It's just really nice to have that additional. What's in there right now is my top cover. That's a Jeep top cover that I put the entire top, both windows, and support bars in. And it's just nice to have it all together and divided inside. With the top and the tonneau in the trunk, that's about all that I can get in it with, and also a few other things, a fire extinguisher, fire pump, you know, my tool bag. But I don't put any overnight bags in here. It's just not going to fit. My plan is to add I actually already have a trunk lid that I'm going to add a luggage rack to. I got an old-fashioned Samsonite bag made in Denver from the 50s. This is an old Porsche luggage rack that's very similar to the original Cobra racks, but I got this on eBay for like 160 bucks. Huge savings, and it's close enough. It actually has 2 extra bars running up and down, so I don't know that anybody's gonna really care that that's not what came with the car originally. But that way I can carry all this stuff, the top and tonneau, and still get a large bag on the trunk, and that I can swap out the trunk lid for one that doesn't have a luggage rack on it. It's just kind of a fun thing to do. I can't say enough about the tonneau. The lift the dots, that was a tough decision to put them on, but I've gone with a car that looks like the old ones, and the tonneau is fantastic. It covers up the passenger side and opens up just for me. I have to take the whole thing off when my wife's with me because I can't roll up her side as easily as I can my side. But it just works. When you're going into the store, you zip the thing up, snap it up, and it covers it. It goes on fast, and it's easy way to keep people from looking in, getting in your car. Keeps the seats cool. Really good quality material. Same with the top. Yeah, I know it's not the most attractive top, but this thing is functional. You'll still get wet in heavy rain, but it's a good top, very good material, and a little difficult to install, but not bad. The wipers, I should say, I'm glad I put them on. I needed them anyway because I knew with my trips I was going to need them, but they work. I haven't been in heavy downpours, but I haven't used high speed yet either. I've tried it. Works fine. They're good. With an initial problem with one of the wheel boxes that wasn't made well, but Factory 5 fixed that for me, and I've reinstalled it, and they've been fine ever since. So I like those. With respect to the call me crazy, but the spinners, I'm not a fan of the 17-inch wheels. They look fine. They look more modern than what I want. I'd rather have the 15s. I did the IRS, so I initially was told that you couldn't do 15s. I hear there's a mod, but I'll get into that later. But I have struck with this one on this trip a curb, and it scratched the heck out of them, and that's what you get with 17, 18-inch wheels that don't have much sidewall. You have to be careful. Really kind of bugged me. But the spinners, the crazy part, I had an MG and a number of other cars that had spinners, and I whacked these with a hammer. It's just a dead blow hammer, twice, and then I run the set screw down. And I've not had, and I know you can have galling issues with these, but I put the O-ring on there, and that has not been an issue in the slightest for me. I don't use anti-seize. I don't do anything special at all other than that O-ring. The set screw is not causing serious damage. I can see marks. These always come off easily, and I'm waiting for the age to kick in and cause me a problem, but that's the way I treat them. I just smack them with a hammer to get them on. I smack them with a hammer to get them off, and they're working great. The independent suspension I can't say enough about. The ride is fantastic on this car. It's a comfortable car, and I don't mean it's comfortable like a modern comfortable car, a modern Miata or something like this. This is a very firm car, but it's never jarring. It's never annoying when you hit something, and The gas pedal, I'm pretty disappointed in that thing. I did do the mods on the gas pedal. It's too dark down there in there to see, but the problem with Gen 2 is that you get these modified panels, footbox panels, and you can see how that bumps out right there. Well, this part right here is right on top of your foot, and I don't have big feet, but I'm hitting that with my toe, and it drives me crazy. I'm considering doing a drop pan in the footwell area on the bottom to get some more relief there. The gas pedal just is really disappointing to me. What I do for comfort is I bought I think that's a neck pillow, but it's got a buckle on the back side, and it connects to my dash support, so it stays right there, and I can rest my knee on it. Gives a lot more comfort on long drives. The hot rod blinking, I got to give the Skid a little shout out for his turn signals. Really all it is this switch right here. It's just a momentary off and left and right. That thing works flawlessly. I've never had it fail. Check him out. I don't know if he's selling those yet, but that's a solid state turn signal, and it works very well.